from the KSN studios, this is your hometown news at 10.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tony Valliere.
And I'm Alan Matthews. The Baxter Springs City Council votes against personnel appointments made by the mayor. More than 100 people attended tonight's City Council meeting in Baxter Springs. The crowd was so large, the fire marshal had to move the meeting from City Hall to the community center. During the meeting, council members turned down Mayor Jennifer Bingham's appointment of Rex Qualls for police chief. They said he was not qualified for the position because he did not have enough administrative experience. Council members also denied the appointment of Debbie Weston as the new city clerk. They say she also lacks administrative experience for the position, which means Waxon will get her job back. Mayor Bingham said she made the appointments because that's what the people of Baxter Springs wanted.
I'm not a politician, and I'm one of the people, and I wanted to see the citizens' tax dollars treated fairly. I wanted to see personal agenda wiped away. I saw a handful of people taking care of a handful of people, and so we knew this process would be a cleansing process. Change is not made overnight.
I know there's always two sides to everything, but there were quite a few strides made this evening in terms of you have to remember that the majority of the council voices were heard tonight by the overwhelming majority of the resolutions being passed.
Also tonight, council members looked into motions to prevent the mayor from putting the city clerk or police chief on administrative leave without the council's approval. They also discussed changing how appointments work in general. Also, in addition, council members passed a motion to make sure all city leaders get a key to City Hall. The City Council will be holding a special meeting to further discuss these issues on May the 1st. The meeting will be held at 7 o'clock at City Hall.
The Missouri governor announces 3 of the families who will receive homes through his Joplin Habitat Challenge. Jay Nixon joined forces with members of University of Missouri athletic programs to kick off the list of recipients. Tonight, Pamela Davis, Brandy Hill, and Ashley Robinson found out they've been chosen for the build. The announcement came as a surprise for the lucky families.
Bottom line is that, as I've said time and time again, the folks here are so committed in this community. This is just another solid, inspirational step forward to guarantee that they can put roots down in this community again.
We lost everything in the tornado, and I mean, you don't have anything and you don't know where to go, you know, and then finally get into the FEMA trailers, and you do have a place to call a temporary home. And then to hear this, you know, you have a permanent home, and I thank God for that.
The governor's Joplin Habitat Challenge plans to build 35 new homes this year with the help of 7 major athletic groups throughout the state.
A Missouri Supreme Court ruling is causing area counties to lose thousands of dollars in sales tax revenue. The ruling says if Missouri residents purchase a car, boat, or other vehicles out of state, they will not be taxed locally. The state estimates Jasper County will lose more than $350,000 a year in sales tax. Jasper County commissioners hope state lawmakers will pass a bill that will allow counties to regain the sales tax.
Introduced House Bill 2100 that would be a fix for this, and so it's being heard in the House now, and then hopefully it'll go to the Senate and be attached somewhere, and we can fix the problem.
The new ruling means that some counties could lose as much as $1 million annually in sales tax revenue.
Area law enforcement are trying to warn drivers about the dangers of trying to outrun a train. Missouri Highway Patrol troopers and Joplin police are informing drivers of the importance of stopping for a train. Over the last few years, Jasper and Newton counties have led the state with the number of fatalities in car versus train wrecks. We set our camera up at 10th and Wall today, and 3 cars ran over the tracks as a train was approaching. Troopers say when it comes to accidents on the track, there's only one outcome.
The car versus train, every time the train is going to win, and we liken and the best way I can equate that is you stepping on an empty pop can and crushing it, and that's exactly what the effect is when a train hits a car.
Tomorrow the checkpoints will be set up in Newton County.
Officers from around the area are in Jasper County learning how to spot sexual predators. Tonight, KSN's Katie Love shows us how this training is helping keep our children safe.
Spot and stop sexual predators. That's the goal for 10 area agencies learning how to investigate child sex cases and enforce sex offender registration.
Law enforcement as well as the public is able to be aware of where they're living and the crimes that the people may have committed. You want to know who your neighbors are, basically.
Jasper County is using almost a $500,000 grant to hold the training, along with providing agencies with specialized computer technology.
They are receiving training on how to preview computers in homes of suspected offenders, so that if they're there, they have a chance to look at someone's computer and see if they have prohibited content or evidence of other crimes on there.
With 300 registered sex offenders in Jasper County alone, officers say this training is critical.
Did it work for everybody?
Each county is planning compliance checks to make sure sex offenders are registered and following the rules.
They have to keep the sheriff's office of their jurisdiction notified to where they're living, where they're working, what they drive, and when they fail to do that, well, then they take a chance of being arrested and sent back to court.
Training and regulations are all a part of a bigger plan to keep communities safe. Reporting in Joplin, Katie Love, your Hometown News.
Jasper County was one of 24 agencies in the country selected for this federal grant.
Joplin School Board members review construction plans for upcoming building projects. Their outlines are for Irving Elementary School, East Middle School, Joplin High School, and the Franklin Technology Center. The architects say they discussed design concepts with people throughout the school district, including students. The images and models show a view of what the future facilities will look like. Board members say it is important for them to keep track of progress for each project.
We've got to stay on top of this. We've got to stay on top of the timeline. We promised our community, we promised our kids we would be back in those new schools at a certain date. So we've got to make sure that timeline is met.
Construction workers plan to break ground on all of the facilities May 22nd.
A new medical lab in Joplin means faster health care for patients. The Joplin Community Clinic held a ribbon-cutting ceremony today for its new medical lab. Workers can now run tests for liver damage, kidney damage, and blood glucose levels. Up until now, local hospitals handled samples and could take days to get results. Heart to Heart International donated all of the new lab technology.
This is going to change the way the patients are taken care of here at Joplin Community Hospital. The opportunity is now here for the doctors to suspect a diagnosis, have the laboratory test done to confirm or deny that diagnosis.
Officials say this will greatly help diabetic patients who regularly come to the clinic for monitoring and testing. We'll take a look at your weather forecast up after the break.